Good morning, aloha.
Good morning.
The daily word for today is harmony. Sunday, February 3rd, 2019. Divine love, wisdom, and understanding bring harmony to my world. When I reflect on the various relationships in my life, what feelings come to mind and heart? Do I feel the joy of kinship with family members, of shared experiences and accomplishments with co-workers or within my community? What I bring to each relationship determines my experience and may even influence the experience of others. Even if there is friction or tension, I choose not to respond, to give any negative or intensive comments. Instead, I view every relationship, every situation through the lens of my being a living expression of God. I am a harmonizing presence as I let God be God in me. I affirm divine love, wisdom, and understanding bring harmony to my world. What does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to be love, kindness, and to walk humbly with your God? That's Micah 6:8. The daily word is harmony. And so together the affirmation, divine love, wisdom, and understanding bring harmony to my world. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, let us visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. Feel the loving energy of those around you flowing in and through you. See it flowing through our sanctuary from the front of the church to the back with Kayla and the children. If there are any events or circumstances in your life needing prayer, hold it in your heart as together we say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us. I am
the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. We will now sing the meditation song, I Will Choose Love.
Every breath, there's a choice to make. Every thought is another opportunity to shine. Be a light for all to see. The choice is mine. Manifest a destiny so divine, full of possibility. It's plain to see. It's up to me, and I will choose love. I will choose kindness. I will choose peace in every word I say. I will choose love. I will choose honor. See the divine in everything that comes my way. Each and every day, I will choose love. Love is a river that flows through you and me. Love, let it guide your footsteps, heal your heart, and set you free. choose kindness. I will choose peace in every word I say. I will choose love. I will choose honor. See the divine in everything that comes my way. Each and every day, I will choose love.
And now we take time in meditation. I invite you to breathe in deeply, to close your eyes and relax as we center. As we do each service, we share this time of contemplative prayer. This morning, we reflect on a portion of the Shema, the centerpiece of Jewish evening and morning prayers. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom forever and ever. And as I breathe and center, I focus on the idea of the Lord my God. The Spirit is one. The glorious kingdom is love. Blessed be this nature. And as I relax, my heart warms in this love. I rest in the quiet. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And as I breathe, I focus on this idea of loving God. And I realize anew, I am a creation of love. Love is my essence and my expression. With all my heart, I love. With all my soul, I love. With all my might, I love. This idea of active love grows within me as I meditate. I now take time in the silence of my soul. You shall speak words of love when you sit in your house, when you walk on the road, when you lie down and when you rise. As I breathe, I speak the words of my heart. I anchor myself in my own inner love. and I choose compassion this day. I think from love, I speak from love, I act from love so that I embrace my world with love. And as we close our meditation, we breathe in appreciation. We give thanks for this time of spirit within. Thank you, God. Amen. A mother cooked breakfast for her 2 young daughters. They were already arguing about who would get the first pancake. One said, I should get it first, I have to get ready for school. And the other one said, I was here first, it's mine. And back and forth they went. The mother thought this was a good opportunity for a lesson in giving. If Jesus were here, he would say, give my sister the first pancake and I will wait. And very quickly, one girl said to the other, okay, you be Jesus. You be Jesus. You be Jesus. So if you went to Sunday school like I did, you may have sung the words, Lord, I want to be more loving in my heart. In my heart. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in my heart. In my heart. And Christianity has long suggested that people follow Jesus. Now, I realize the guy lived in the Middle East in the 1st century, so how relevant is his message to me today? How relevant is his message to us in the 21st century? Could his relationships provide some guidance in our lives? So nobody's bolted yet. We're going to talk some more about Jesus. This morning, we're exploring the topic of loving like Jesus. Is it possible to love like Jesus did? And this morning, I'd like to explore a few questions. Who was Jesus of Nazareth? What do we know about him? How did Jesus love in his relationships? And of course, how can I use love in my relationships? When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? And Peter said, Yes, Lord, I know you know that I love you. Jesus said to him, Feed my lambs. A second time he said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? And he said to him, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. Jesus said to him, Tend my sheep. He said to him a third time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter felt hurt because he'd already said this before. And he said to him a third time, Do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. And Jesus said, Feed my sheep. Yeshua ben Joseph, or son of Joseph, was probably born about 4 of the Common Era, and his parents were likely working class Jews. Yes, Jesus was Jewish. He lived in the tiny town of Nazareth in rural Galilee, and he had at least 4 brothers and probably sisters. Sepphoris was a Roman town nearby with a theater, public baths, and elaborate and colorful mosaics. It was within walking distance of Nazareth. And so today scholars believe that Jesus and his father probably did manual labor in that town. Jesus spoke Aramaic, but he may have been familiar with some Hebrew and Greek. And as an adult, Jesus chose a very different life, of course, to wander throughout Israel as a teacher, sharing God's good news. He attracted a group of followers, including Peter, and his message repeated a common theme in the Hebrew Scriptures: love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. So this morning, I want to introduce you to 4 ancient words for love. Ahava is a Hebrew word for love, and the root comes from to give. So this is used when talking about loving others as well as loving God. Philautia is a Greek word for the love of self. We're talking about positive love of self, not selfishness. And philia, we've all heard before, this is related to the word Philadelphia, right? Yeah, the city of brotherly love. So this is friendly love. And finally, agape, which gets used a lot in the New Testament. So agape refers to unconditional love. This is selfless compassion. We could call it universal love, a radical notion for a very traditional social order. So how did Jesus apply these 4 concepts of love? Jesus thought from love. He practiced ahava, love for God and love for people. Think about it. He prayed often. We know that he was deeply connected to the divine. He used philautia, love for self. When practicing prayer in seclusion, Jesus thought from love. Jesus spoke from love. He preached about the kingdom of heaven as a present reality. He spoke from agape, universal love. He told stories that emphasized harmony, like the tale of the Good Samaritan helping an injured man. Jesus spoke from love. Jesus also acted from love. From philia love, he socialized with social outcasts, eating dinner with, quote, tax collectors and sinners. Oh my goodness. Remember the party where he turned water into wine? All of these things got Jesus criticized. But with the unconditional love of agape, he healed people, or he encouraged healing. He tapped into a cosmic power, and he encouraged others to tap into that cosmic power. He told them, your faith has made you well. And also from agape love, he took risks. He spoke up about injustice and the corruption of the Roman and Jewish authorities. And that may have been what got him killed. And yet his message lived on. So the Christian author of John understood these different concepts of love in that imagined conversation between Jesus and Peter. Jesus asked Peter 3 times if he loves him. 3 times. When I first read this, it's like, well, what's going on? What is this conversation? Some of you are going, I've had that conversation. Jesus is actually using the Greek word agape, unconditional love. And each time Peter responds, yes, Lord, you know that I love you, using the Greek word philia, the friendly love. Jesus is encouraging Peter to move in consciousness from the love of friends to this universal love of agape. So, can you and I love like Jesus? Here's a radical idea. I think we can. I think we do. With love, we encourage others. So turn to your neighbor now and just smile and say, you be Jesus. And I appreciate the laughter. You be Jesus. So Andrew Harvey jumped around and he got louder and louder. Like some of the people around me, when I was listening to Andrew Harvey, I moved to the edge of my seat. There were a few people who looked very uncomfortable, and others seemed ready to bolt. That year, Andrew Harvey was speaking at Unity Village for our academic conference. And that year, the topic was sacred text. Andrew Harvey was speaking in the way that he often does, animated, especially when speaking about two of his passions, the poetry of Rumi and his dream for a more compassionate world. So some of you may know the name Andrew Harvey. He's the author of The Son of Man, The Mystical Path to Christ, but actually he's written more than 30 books. Harvey's a British author, a religious scholar, and a teacher of mystic traditions who now lives in the United States. His current focus is on sacred activism, something that I'm very interested in. And for him, love shows itself as what he calls a holy force that motivates us. And so what Andrew Harvey does is he connects love with activism. For him, love shows up in